We'll start with Teofimo Lopez versus Arnold Barboza. Like the trend and the theme most of the night, not a lot of action. I thought for what it's worth, out of all the performances, Teofimo Lopez had by far the best performance between the fighters on Friday and Saturday. He boxed well, looked explosive in spots, and Barbosa, he just struggled to cut off the ring. He was chasing around, unable to pull the trigger. In the end, Teofimo Lopez gets a decision win back in his hometown in New York. What'd you think of this one?
Yeah, listen, Teofimo, more athletic, more gifted, more talented. Like you said, neither one of them put a barn burner on, but Teofimo did more. You know, he played the part of the boss for the most part all night. Somebody's got to be the boss. Somebody's got to be the boss. Now, I don't mean my friend Tony Danza, the great actor. I don't mean him. He was the boss in the TV series. But somebody in life has to be the boss. And Teofimo took that role. Barbosa didn't. Whether you're going to do it on the outside boxing, you don't have to do it coming forward. I'm not putting that on your shoulders. You do what you're comfortable doing, what your temperament tells you to do, what your style, what your technique is taught to do, what your talent allows you to do. But you got to be the boss one way or the other. You know, you could be aggressive going backwards. Yeah, I know that sounds crazy. I've told fighters that. I've taught fighters that. You can be aggressive going backwards, where you're in control and you force the guy to follow you. You hit him with a hard jab, you back him up a little bit, you push him a little bit, then you pull him in. You aggressively take control of what you're doing in the ring, where even going backwards, you're the boss. So I think that Teofimo did that. I think he's the only one where his stock didn't plummet, as you said. And I'm glad that he's a hot and cold guy sometimes, Teofimo, but he's very talented. And I'm glad that he had the switch turned on because nobody else did. He had the switch turned on Friday night, and I was happy for him. I was happy to see this. He's talking about moving up in weight class. I don't know. I mean, that could be a little difficult. There's some big welterweights there. You know, he's got talent.
Throwing out boots in us.
Yeah, I mean, I give him credit. Give Teofimo credit for whatever. He's got that name Takeover, and then he tripped a little bit on a banana peel, you know, after the Lomachenko fight, and everybody was ready for him to be anointed as the whatever that is, the great one, the next great one, and of our time right now. And then all of a sudden he had the Barbosa fight. He had a couple other fights that, you know, obviously were closer than projected, closer than people thought it would be or should be. Some people thought he might even lost one or two of those fights. But never doubt his talent. I never did. But I also want to just finish with this. For all the craziness and all the stuff with him, he's a guy who really wants the challenge. And that's why when he calls out boots, I kind of believe him. Like he's a guy that really he's a guy that I think that part of the problem, and I said this a year ago, when he's hot and cold, or even 2 years ago, when he's hot and cold, some people say, is he really as good as we thought he was? Or maybe he's not as good as we thought he was. And I always said, no, I think sometimes he's not there. He's not mentally there. He's not into it. I know it's not an excuse. But some people have to be in and threatened. Some people have to be in a game or a scenario or a fight, as we're talking about right now, where there's risk, where they're challenged. Otherwise, they just don't get the juices flowing to really bring all that talent to the top. And I think that Teofimo is one of those guys. I really do at this point. I wasn't ready to say it before, but, well, actually about a year ago, I did touch on it. I think he fights up to his competition. And I think that, again, that's at play here. And then when he calls out boots, it kind of speaks to that. I believe him. I believe that he knows that he needs to be challenged, and then he'll be at his best. Let's move on.